Alright contest runners, here's a few ways to respond to "the contest is rigged" and other similar complaints you might receive. First up, the contest is rigged. You're probably already doing a lot to make sure your contest is being run as fairly as possible, but you can't discredit the possibility that something happened without your knowing. An easy way to determine if this complaint is due to dissatisfaction with the result or an actual report of a rule violation is to ask for specifics. For example, "We take all allegations of cheating and misconduct seriously. Can you elaborate on what rules or guidelines you feel were violated?" Chances are they won't come back with anything meaningful and you can move on with your day. If they do come back with something legitimate, such as evidence to support a person passing someone else's work off as their own, you can escalate those issues appropriately. Next up, the winner knew the judges. Knowing a judge is rarely a competitive advantage. If you've been around the contest scene, then you'll know that master level cosplayers typically end up in a pool of folks that drift between competing, judging, and doing panels or workshops. It's not uncommon for a pair of cosplayers to be fellow competitors at one contest, but on opposite sides of the judging table at another. We trust judges to be professional and impartial. In practice, cosplay contest judges tend to be a bit stricter with people they know because they are actively trying to avoid letting their bias factor into their decisions. A nice way to respond to this could be, the pools of competitive cosplayers and judges tend to overlap at the master tier of competition, so it's not uncommon for a contestant and judge to be acquainted. Additionally, judges actually tend to be stricter with their friends to avoid bias. Next up, another costume was better. This complaint frequently shows up on social media coming from folks who don't have a full understanding of the evaluation process. If you or your event social media team want to take the time to respond, here are 2 points you can highlight. Number 1. The judges are the ones closely examining the costume. There are going to be techniques, both flawed and flawless, that the judges can see but that are not visible on stage or in a photo. Number 2. The judges are evaluating the costume against specific criteria. A costume might be big or flashy, but stage presence might only account for a portion of the score, and the costume might not have scored well against the other criteria. Perhaps you could word it as, "There were a number of impressive entries this year, and our judges carefully examined each costume in a private setting so they could evaluate the cosplay against our specific criteria, which is publicly available on our website." Link. And then finally, "The judges said there wasn't anything I could do to improve. Why didn't I win?" So much of costume contests come down to what was shown on the day of the contest. It is possible for a costume to be flawless and win nothing. Rather than start with a full score and deduct points down for issues, most costume contests start with 0 points, and contestants earn points up for eligible techniques that are done well. In a contest field that is particularly competitive, every entry could be extremely well executed, and then it comes down to who did just a few more techniques or who was slightly more innovative and therefore got slightly more points. When responding, an empathetic approach to this would probably work well. All of our entries were exceptionally well crafted this year, and it was very difficult for the judges to make their selections. We had a number of high-scoring entries and a limited number of awards available. You should be proud of your work, and we hope you enter again in the future. In conclusion, hearing these complaints can be exhausting. If you don't have the bandwidth to respond right away or at all, that is okay. But if or when you do decide to respond, feel free to use what I mentioned in this video to save yourself some time and energy. Thanks for watching!